So bring up the skills.
All right, so that's interesting. So the Wood Elves did not win the toss. It was the Undead who won the toss, and they chose to kick the ball instead of receive it.
Yep. Which says he's not really afraid to be removed like crazy by his opponent, right? I mean, having those mummies does help with that.
Yeah. I mean, of course he's not afraid to be removed. It's against Wood Elves. The Wood Elves are not going to be a team that's going to be doing many removals.
And they don't have mighty blows to beat.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. And I think that what he's thinking at the moment is they're gonna if they make one mistake when it comes to their hit, that could be a removed player, because that armor value is really a problem. And the Wood Elves don't have an apothecary. They have not chosen an apothecary.
Oh wow.
So that is, that's a very dangerous way to play this. And the Undead have won the fame and got an extra reroll out of it. So everything. Yep.
I do think that von Steynberg may have thought, let the Woodies score quickly, and after that go to town with your mummies and mighty blow and remove lots of Wood Elves and score very slowly, so that the opponent is not able to one-turn you.
Or hey, maybe not score at all. Just go for...
Or not score at all.
Yeah, go for the hell. Go for all of those removals and then...
Start half two with no opponents left in the field. Right?
Exactly.
So that's a route I like to take with my orcs. I like to take defense if I'm able to pick, because with AB9 you're absolutely able to weather the storm and just bide your time and destroy the opponent.
I mean, he has already... the coach has already managed to get out of all of those tackle zones, so there's not going to be any hits against him apart from the one blitz this turn.
And that's really what Wood Elves excel at, is not getting hurt.
But you want those extra. I think you'd want more rerolls, because you with Wood Elves you are making a dodge with almost every single player, every single turn, because you're trying to get out of those tackle zones. And there are players like you're going to want to save half of your team because all of your players are key. Maybe the linemen you don't care about, but
yeah. To be fair, having all those skills, like he has 2 blodgers as the war dancer, he has 3 blodgers with his catchers. He's got throw, pass, and sure hands, so he is really not that much.
That is true. All of his key players have, and 3 rerolls is probably enough to deal with the lineman mistakes. So you are right. Oh, and there we go. That frenzy ghoul already been taken out. There's the removal. So it was a bad decision. That's one of his leveled up pieces. That's a valuable piece, just because it has that extra skill gone.
And I'm not clear about why von Steynberg that didn't pick at least one blodging ghoul, right? Because he could have made a decent ball carrier for him.
It seems that he's put all of his team into bash. Like, he's made a bash team.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about ball carrying. He cares more about destroying his opponents. And I think that probably might come back and bite him. Though, again, Steynberg, I believe, has not lost a game.
No, he didn't. And
he's got
as
3
I said,
wins
he's
and
a very solid coach.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. It's a bit of a gamble to rely on removals, right? Because they are absolutely random, and having safe ball carriers is not random.
Yeah, exactly. So, even if you get armor breaks every single hit you make, there's no guarantee that those armor breaks will lead to a removal.
Absolutely. What we see being played by the coach is he's really playing it safe, and he takes his time, and he just sets up so in a way he only gets one.
He's going to be doing those passes and backflipping linemen. I always like the animation when those Wood Elves get hit. It always makes it look so much heavier.
And I do like the crunches as well
Yeah.
when I play against those guys.
And one of those Blutige catches is out. Just a knockout, not an injury, but that's still a blow. But that's why, I reckon that's why he's got 3. Because he knows it's going to happen. So he's made sure to have extra. So he can look at his opponent and say, nah, don't worry, I've got more of that where that came from. I've got more at home.
And he's already in a decent position to score if he wants to. He just needs to run up the ball. He needs to blitz the white away, and then he can just catch the ball in a tackle zone, which shouldn't be.
Oh, and his War Dancer got a removal on the zombie.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So he doesn't plan to score this turn, right?
Yeah. So he's keeping toe with Steynberg, moving his ball carrier down.
He's targeting the lowest AV.
And now he's got an okay cage, but Wood Elf cages are made of tissue paper.
It's true, but then again, you often don't need more because even if your opponent gets to your ball carrier, you can
just get out of there.
Dodge away, right?
Yeah, very easily. Well, I actually like putting Nerves of Steel on my thrower, so that way you can. You see, a lot of people like putting it on their catcher. I really like it on my thrower because you get those. You get your ball carrier gets surrounded or has lots of people next to it. Instead of making that dodge out, you just make that pass straight away.
True enough.
And having sure hands as well, like going sure hands then Nerves of Steel, you've got a perfect thrower. Because they can't, the intercept is, I believe, harder, or they can't be intercepted or something like that. What was that?
If you got safe throw or...
Yeah, safe throw, sorry.
Yeah.
Safe throw is...
Yeah. I think the new... I only know the old ruling, I don't know the...
Yeah, safe throw, Nerves of Steel.
You get to reroll... I think you get to reroll the... you need to roll a 1 so the opponent can even try to intercept. I think something like that. So it's pretty safe to pass.
That's why it's called safe pass.
Yeah.
He's using his Wood Elves to make those hits. He's not worried about punching up those zombies.
And he's always targeting the zombies, right? He's not going for the ghouls or the white.
Yeah. Because it's dangerous. I mean, not even too dangerous, but still.
Absolutely. And the way the coach plays tells me that he knows that the Undead team is just too slow to score in like 2 or 3 turns.
Yeah.
So what he does is he extends his clock.
Yeah.
So that he possibly doesn't get counter-scored this half.
Failed lineman dodge, reroll. Yeah, he failed the counter score, so he won't be able to make that counter score.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he can go to town with his War Dancers still on the field and try to steal the ball next half.
And while von Steynberg was trying to get his opponent to score as quick as possible, and that sort of backfired on him. He's like, I'll kick you the ball so that way you'll score as quick as possible and then I'll be able to go through and do what I want. But that hasn't happened, and that's sort of come and bitten him a little bit.
Yeah, because I guess that von Steynberg tried to play this very aggressively, so to pressure his opponent, but now you can see the strength of the Wood Elf teams. They can just outrun you.
Yeah.
Like, there's possibly only the Skaven team that's able to keep up with you, but switching sides like this is the bread and butter of every Wood Elf player, and Undead just can't keep up with that. They can't.
Yeah. Well, because their big players can only move 3 spaces. It's just not going to happen.
And even the whites, who are like the blitzer types, only have movement 6. Right? So they can't even keep up with the linemen.
Let's looking at that. It shows what happens when you actually play the game versus trying to just kill your opponent's team. These silly Wood Elves just playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. But that's what gets them wins.
And I think that's why I would say that Wood Elves are like very favored to win the whole tournament, right? Wood Elves Escape and teams like that.
Definitely. I reckon it's going to be up. It's going to be either the Wood Elves or the Dark Elves, in my opinion. I'd like to see the Lizardmen win it, but the Lizardmen already have a loss. So, and look at that, another removal on the zombies. Yeah. I mean, they do have von Steynberg does have extra zombies and an extra zombie and an extra skeleton, but he's still down one player if they don't wake up.
And now I think that coach managed to absolutely outrun his opponent, and as you can see, there's no feasible option for the Undead team to get to the ball carrier and right now. He can't even place his players in front of this guy because he only has one player that is able to go somewhere, and that's the Ghoul, and he's really alone there.
And the only removal that Steynberg has gotten against a coach is a knockout, which could very easily come back. That could change right now. No, not yet. But still, his plan to go aggressive and get rid of those players has not worked.
Nope.
And that's a very big problem for him.
What I do like is that I think he's going to target the War Dance right now, and he should... No, he isn't. I would have blitzed that War Dance.
So I would have as well. I understand completely what you're going for. Ooh, and failed going for it.
I don't get this. Because the white wouldn't have had to make that go for it, right?
Oh, knockout on the War Dancer. So he did blitz the War Dancer.
Yeah, he counted on Mighty Blow and it worked, right?
Yeah, but that going for it, that would have been a very big worry for him. And now he doesn't have a reroll for the other things he's gonna... not that there's much he can do. All of his plays are out.
Indeed. And that's a huge gap for the Wood Elves to exploit, right? So,
and which they do, and they will. And he's gonna blitz that Ghoul, trying to get that removal on it.
Sure, I mean, he's got tackle, right? So why not?
Yep.
So that's like 3 and 6 to get the Ghoul down.
Yep. And his stalling is going well. His dodging his players out. Oh, failed going for it. He's got those rerolls though. However, so far, almost every turn where he's chosen to do things, he's managed to get one of those ones, which is always... you always notice those ones more when you're playing a Wood Elf team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or any elf team.
Yeah, but that's because you're forcing like the 2+ rolls, right?
Yeah.
With elves, you just
and you don't realize, but you are making more rolls than you'd make with the other teams.
Yeah.
Like with your average team, you might make 3 or 4 rolls in a turn, but with the elves, any agility 4 team, you tend to be making a roll with every player every turn.
Yeah.
And it doesn't compute to you because you don't realize it, because on those other normal teams, you are actually making rolls with every player that you can make rolls with. But that's the thing with the elves. They have those options. The option to make a roll with every one of them.
And it's why most elf coaches tend to think that elves roll more ones than other teams. But in the end, if you look at the statistics, it always shows that it's pretty even.
Yeah, well, because it's not that you're making you are rolling more ones because you're making more rolls in general.
Yeah.
And we have another removal against the elves, so we are equal on removals now.
Which is not good enough for Undead, I have to say,
because again, they could just wake up. The moment that touchdown happens, they could just snap awake again.
Yeah. And now he's got him down to 2 turns left, so even if he scores right now, the Undead team needs to force a 2-turn touchdown, which is reasonably hard for them.
Yeah. And there's a block hit on the Ghoul, which with blitzing with the War Dancer, which means he's free to make the touchdown. Which he doesn't. He's going to go for another stall turn. Wow. Which is exactly what you want to do anyway. There's no way that the Undead are going to get the ball off them unless they make some crazy, not even stupid, just crazy roll in general by dodging into a 3+ tackle zone and then doing 2 red die block and succeeding somehow.
Yeah. And there you can see why I said that coach is a really good coach, because he sees those plays and he just makes them like clockwork. He knows which order to do it in. He used his catcher before he used his lineman to dodge right now.
And he ended
so
up...
that even if
He ended up using his last reroll, but he knew which one to reroll it on. And he didn't reroll the lineman. He rerolls the important roll. He doesn't have any rerolls left, but he doesn't need them anymore.
And he's a very solid.
Well, that's a dead war dancer.
I'm just getting to that.
Yeah, I'm keeping it on the skip panel until you get there if I can. Wow. So that's changed thing. Oh, and Ray's dead. There's an extra zombie for this game.
True. I like that.
Yeah, that's. What I like about Undead is they also have that ultimate sort of little bit of an FU.
Yeah.
That sort of haha, now I have your player. And that works in any format because unlike the other teams that do like Nurgle, you get them straight away.
Yeah. And that's something that I kind of exploited when I was first making YouTube videos on Blood Bowl. That was Blood Bowl 1. Back in the day, I used to have an Undead team, and I gave my viewers the opportunity to play me and to name their players in the way that if I killed one of them, they got raised to my team. I would keep all those killed players as zombies. And it's quite funny.
In my league at the moment, there's another knockout going for the foul. And it's not an injection. So yeah, those removals on the Wood Elves have just caught up. In the last 2 turns alone, that's 4 or 5 of them out.
But he has 3 guys out himself in the knockout.
Yep.
So
all right, so let's see who wakes up. Touchdown has been made. But one of those permanently down, there's nothing that can be done about it, is that War Dancer. So since 2 players got up on the Undead side, that means the Undead currently have a full team, I believe. Yeah, they do. They have a full team worth of players on the field. All 11.
So in the end, the bashing kept coming through, but as I said, Wood Elves are still very dangerous, even if with only 6 players like this.
But yeah, so all von Steynberg needs to do now is attempt to take out more of those elves right here, right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he needs, because they have another chance to get up. Not many, only 2 of them, or 1 of them got up in the last one.
On average, 2 will... Yeah, it's true, but on average, 2 will be back, right?
Yeah. Well, especially if there's 6 dudes out. No, that should be exactly how it is. 2 of them should get up. And they get an extra reroll, not that it's needed. It'd be interesting if there was some sort of inducement that you could buy that allowed you to use more than 1 reroll in a turn.
That would be hilarious.
I've always thought of that.
It would probably be pretty broken as well, right?
Oh yeah. But this is the thing. Maybe making that inducement so you can only... It's like I don't know, a potion or something, but you could only do it for 1 turn. So you can use as many rerolls as you want for that 1 turn, but then it goes back to the normal rules.
Yeah. So what we see, and what I do actually really like, is that he tries to go for 1 turn here.
Yeah, that's very cool that he attempts. Because this isn't a team you'd normally make it with, but he's going to do it anyway.
So is he even able to do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 now. Not yet.
No, so now he's just going to go for bashing, which fortunately doesn't pay off there.
Yeah, I don't think he was even able to go for 1 turn realistically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, so you needed 2 more pushes. That's not possible. He would have probably be able to do that if he had his frenzy ghoul, right?
Yeah, but he did not, unfortunately. He did. He has his frenzy ghoul right there.
Why didn't he use that one? Oh.
It was just, I think it was just a mistake on his part. He wasn't thinking, or only thought about doing the 1 turn after he set up his players.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, with a movement 7 guy and a full team, you should be able to do it.
And just like you said, 2 of them got up.
Yeah.
But for the Wood Elves are still down 2 of their key players. They're down 1 of those catchers, and no, sorry, they're down 2 War Dancers. Both of the War Dancers are out.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good for Steynberg.
Yep.
That's really good for him.
They've got all those catchers and that thrower, but...
Yeah, but that means his cages are like super safe now against the Wood Elf.
Yeah. because they don't have that leap.
Oh, and by the way, he does have a bludgeoning ghoul. Why didn't I see that piece before?
He didn't have it on the field, I don't think.
I see. Okay, so yeah, well, that was a clever choice to not put him on the field. So he had that for his offense turn.
Oh, and here's the high kick. If he catches it, then that's fantastic. If he... Oh, yep, he caught it. So that's one less thing he has to worry about.
True, but he still has one major thing to worry about, and that is, if he scores right now...
Yeah, the Wood Elves can just make it straight back.
Yeah, and that's so easy for them to do. So he has to really play really slowly right now and try to murder everybody that's on the field for the...
Which unfortunately isn't going so well. He's got the stuns, but stuns are not going to help him in this situation here.
Not when the elf is attacking.
But he's probably going to go for those fouls, I reckon. After he does his blitz and after he does his cage, he'll probably stomp the crap out of
that and I think it's his only feasible choice to make here. I think that's the only choice he can even attempt to win this game.
Yeah, he does have extras. He even has an extra zombie that was gladly donated by the Wood Elf team.
So he's caging over there. That's interesting. So where's he going to foul?
Oh, I assume he is. He's just moving everybody first.
He should be using the foul on the catcher, right? Yeah, I think so.
Also, I mean, if he did it on anything else, that would be a very silly move.
Yeah.
Successful foul, and it's only a stun.
And that foul could have backfired, because if it wasn't... And he didn't even do it on the catcher, so the catcher is able to just dodge into one tackle.
No, he did do it on the catcher. He did do it on the catcher.
Oh, that's not a catcher on the front. Oh, I see.
Yeah,
it's just lineman. But still, the lineman can just dodge out into one tackle zone.
What I don't understand is why didn't he do the blitz with the catcher? He did it with the lineman that he dodged out, so he did it backwards. And that caused problems, I think. I think he could have...
Well, the catcher would only have had a 1 die, right? So...
No, if he dodged out the lineman first and then used the catcher.
Yeah, but catchers on Wood Elves do have strength too, so...
Oh, they do! I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So this. Oh yeah, you can't use them as bashers. And unless you have very decent assists, which with this many players down, he most certainly does not.
Yeah, and I think it was an okay choice to blitz with the lineman, because then having 2 dice, the chances of rolling the power that he would have needed with the catcher anyway, is just higher than just rolling 1 dice, right? So I think it was okay. But I think that was really reckless of von Steynberg to let this square open. Because if you're playing against Wood Elves...
Yep, there we go. That's why you put... Ooh! He did still kill the lineman, though. So his ghoul, his frenzy ghoul, that could have gone very horribly, and probably should have gone horribly, but it ended up playing into Steynberg's hand. Just Nuffle favored him in that particular play. Though now the coach has a chance to get that ball back.
Yeah.
Oof.
And I think he should have stood up his lineman beforehand. I don't like the fact that he's not blitzing with the catcher again. That's interesting.
I think he's making tilt plays at the moment. After losing both of his war dancers, losing a lineman, he's worried. He's worried that touchdown's going to occur and he's not going to be able to do anything about it. I think he's worried about the stall and...
It could be. I'm not too sure. I mean, I've played the coach myself, so I do get a feeling for his plays here, and it's very similar to what he did to me. He's very systematically playing his Wood Elves. I'm not too sure if he's tilting, but he might really be worried. I think you could be correct on this one. I think he's like, damn, I have to do something here.
But he's not 100% sure of what to do, and the clock's always ticking down, so... He might be thinking, because we don't get to see how long he takes to plan out each move.
Yeah, at least he doesn't take up the full time because there's no bell at the end of his turns, right? You would hear that one.
Yeah. Right, so he's got that cage going. which is really bad for the Wood Elves because they don't have those Wood Answers.
So I guess he should be quite safe right now to run the ball in, especially since he has another touchdown threat with the Don Calais school. So he just needs to get the ball to that guy and run it in, right? Or he can choose to move his cage slowly.
Yeah. I mean, if I was again, it's do you want to play it super safe and not have a chance to win and just go I'm fine with a tie and I'll just tie it.
Yeah.
Which if it was in a league, I always go for ties when I can. I don't go for wins. But if I was in a tournament, I'd think always go for the win if you can, right?
If I would have to bet my money on either of those choices, I think he will be going for a touchdown and try to win the whole game. Especially since one of those wardens is out for good, and the other might not come back.
I mean, even if it does come back, their big specialty is getting into cages, and it won't be his turn to. It'll be the opponent's turn for doing the touchdown anyway.
So he's going to advance his cage. He's not going to score right now.
Could he have scored?
He could have scored. He could have gotten the ball to the other ghoul, Don Calais.
But he might be worried about those rerolls.
Yeah,
because he's only got 2 rerolls, and he wants to try and get another score if he wants to win it.
Yeah, but that would have been a possibility for him.
Yeah, and this way he can go for more removals on those elves.
Yeah, I think even stalling one more turn is fine because
it's a foul. Here's a foul on that thrower, which is one of their main pieces. They've only got one of those, and it pays off into a KO.
That's cool.
And no ejection. So he's been fouling pretty consistently and gotten no ejections.
Well, but you could argue that fouling is actually quite the valid strategy with undead teams.
Oh yeah, because you've got those extras, and if you manage to kill your opponent, you'll get an extra one.
And usually you only throw away a skeleton or a zombie, which is not an important piece at all.
But it's actually you're going up against a 50-50 each time, because it's a 50-50 for the armor value roll and then a 50-50 for the injury roll as well. So it's a pretty high chance that you'll get ejected.
Absolutely. And what we can see here is that the coach knows that he's quite capable of scoring even with low number of team members, so he just protects his players right now. He's just
right now I'm looking at what von Steynberg is doing, and he's stalling, which he's not gonna. It makes me go. He's not gonna go for a win. He's going. I'm gonna get a. Or actually, maybe he's going for permanent removals. He's going for removals on all of the enemy. I don't know.
Yeah, he could foul again, right?
Yeah, fouled again.
Then if he fouls right now, he uses a valuable piece for that, and that's the frenzy ghoul.
And it got sent off as well. There's the ejection on the frenzy ghoul. Wow. Valuable piece gone.
Yeah, and only alignment gone on the other side, which can come back.
Yep, which is just so that's a permanent removal for him, but they're not gonna attempt to get the ball because there's no way of them doing it. Sorry?
Did you see that the coach commenting in the chat?
Oh, he just came up 1 minute ago.
At this point, I was hoping he would go for the win and score early, so just ran away and hit not so much happening for a while now. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh wow!
I was thinking
they just turned over like 5 times in a row. They both just rapidly tapped turnover.
My God, he really played for that. He really played for that.
That tie.
Draw.
That's disappointing to me. Like the last game, it's a tournament. It's a tournament, not a league. So why go for not go for the win?
Well, maybe he thought I'm up 3 games, so I can afford to have a draw. And
I can understand the thinking there, but we've currently got 6 teams that are 3 matches that can end in a 4-win.
I mean, he was probably just scared that the coach is quite capable to score it, which I would agree with that fear. But on the other hand, really, Yeah, I don't know. I don't like choice here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I seriously think that if whoever wins out of the Sage or Andy, I really think that they could go and, unless it's a tie, I don't actually think it'll be a draw. No. They're both too aggressive, in my opinion, to let a draw stand.
Yeah, and the coach says, I felt my best chance was to save players for the one-turn attempt, which is absolutely true. If I had a dancer left, would have gone for the ball.
Yeah, I understand completely.
And I think that was the smart choice in this case. I really have to agree on that. I'm not too sure about the choice of von Steynberg here.
Oh, there's the skull.
It's not so much... Yeah.
Just watching for this one-turn attempt. Oh. Thanks to not getting that push.
Yep. That's unfortunate. He would have... I think he would have, without being too condescending here, but I think he would have earned that win, actually.
Yeah. I get it completely.
I think that was way too defensive by von Steynberg. And to be clear, I liked von Steinberg's plays up to that point. I mean, he made a very likable job to remove Wood Elves and to play it relatively safe.
So I look